Hey guys, okay, it's time for your application problem today. So we kind of have a long one, but I think this one is really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then we'll find the most important information, and then I'll talk you through how to find the answer. We are going to be using our counting on strategy for this problem today. So it says, Josh and Becky were eating raisins. Josh had 7 raisins, and he took 2 more. Becky had 9 raisins and took 2 more. Who had a greater number of raisins? Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the most important information in this problem. So for this problem, I would say that it's probably important that we know who the people are in our story, okay? Josh and Becky. Because we're going to have to keep them straight because we're trying to figure out which one of them ended up with more raisins. So, Josh and Becky. Josh and Becky were eating raisins. Josh had 7 raisins. He started with 7. And he took 2 more. Look at that word more. I'm going to choose a different color because I'm going to put a box around it. The word more. That word more means that he added 2 more raisins to the 7 that he already had, okay? It's important that we know this vocabulary. More means he's adding to his number. Alrighty, Becky had 9 raisins, and then she took 2 more. So, again, I'm going to put a box around this word more, because that means she is adding to the number of raisins that she started with. Not taking away from, but adding to. That's what the word more means. Who had a greater number of raisins? This is our question. This is what we're trying to figure out. Who had a greater number of raisins? I am going to put a box around this word greater, because this is a math vocabulary word, and that means more. When you hear the word greater, when they say who had a greater number of raisins, they want to know, out of Becky and Josh, who had more raisins, okay? So, I'm going to read it again so we can understand and we don't leave out any information when we try to solve the problem. Josh and Becky were eating raisins. Josh had 7 raisins, and he took 2 more. Becky had 9 raisins and took 2 more. Who had a greater number of raisins? So here's what I'm going to do. We have Josh on this side, Becky on this side. A J for Josh, a B for Becky. I'm going to use magic circles. Remember, magic circles, I call them magic circles because we can turn them into whatever we want with our brain and our imagination. So our magic circles in this case are going to be raisins. But I'm just going to draw circles and I'm going to pretend that they're raisins, okay? How many raisins did Josh start with? 7. So I'm going to draw a circle with the number 7. This is a group of 7 raisins. This is how many he started with. Becky started with 9. So I'm going to draw my group of 9 raisins. Do you see how I did that? Josh has 7, Becky has 9. Josh took 2 more raisins out of the box. So I'm going to do this. 1, 2. So he started with 7, he took 2 more. Becky also took 2 more raisins out of the box. So now, I am going to use my counting on strategy to figure out the total number of raisins that both of them had. Okay? So watch what I do. Josh started with 7, so I'm going to put that 7 in my head, and I'm going to count on by 2. 7, 8, 9. So Josh ended up with 9 raisins, right? Let's figure out how many Becky ended up with. She started with 9, so I'm going to put 9 in my head and count on by 2. Ready? 9, 10, 11. So now she has 11 raisins. So who has more? To answer our question, who has a greater number of raisins? Josh or Becky? Hopefully you said Becky. Okay? Becky has more raisins. Then, what you're going to do after you solve this problem on your own, what you're going to do is I want you to come up with a number sentence to go with Josh's raisins and Becky's. Okay, so I walked you through the whole thing. You're going to go back into Seesaw and you're going to do it on your own. Please remember, you have on Seesaw, it's awesome because you have highlighter tools, pens, pencils. Use those to find your most important information in the story, okay? And then use them to solve your problem. Okay, so thanks for watching. Good luck on your application problem today.